Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I hope you're doing okay, considering what's been going on. As a status update, it is Friday, October 27th. It's been 20 days since the massacre of 1,400 plus Jews, non-Jews, young women, young children, babies, adults, so many people. And there are currently still about 220 hostages being held in Gaza. We've had 4 released, 2 last week, these 2, a mother and a daughter, and then 2 this week, 2 older women. And we really have no idea what's been going on. We have no idea if the hostages are alive. We have no idea where they are. And it's like unfathomable. And I know that all of you are feeling the same feeling that I am, which is like helplessness and anger and frustration. And it's like we need to feel, we need to we wish we could understand what our brothers and sisters are going through. It's like so painful to be so far away. But it's, very interesting, these parshiot that are falling through this time. This week's parsha is Lech Lecha. So this is the parsha where we're meeting Avraham really for the first time. And it's called Lech Lecha because that's the beginning of the parsha. The text is Vayomer Hashem el Avraham Lech Lecha me'artzecha u'mimoladetecha u'mibeit avicha el haaretz asher arecha. Go, and the Lord said to Abram, go forth from your land and from your birthplace and from your father's house to the land that I will show you. Of course, there's that song, Lech Lecha, to a land that I will show you. It's a very pretty song. But Lech Lecha, go forth. And so Abraham takes a risk. He's told by God, and I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you, and you shall be a blessing. And this is the big one, guys. And I will bless those who bless you, and the one who curses you, I will curse. I think about this quote recently. I've been thinking about this quote recently, and one of our Christian allies, a friend, wrote with that quote saying, I will bless the ones who bless you, and I will curse the ones who curse you. It's so important to remember that God is on our side, and that the people who are standing with us, the non-Jews and the people who don't have a stake in this game, who are standing with us and who recognize terror and hate and violence when they see it, those people will be blessed. And those people who are shouting in the streets, who are tearing down flyers of hostages currently in Israel, those are evil people. There's a special place in hell for them. And I've been saying they've already started the hell on earth. Like, they're going to go to hell, but they've already started the hell on earth. I mean, look, whatever. Hell is complicated for Jews, but the hell is on earth. How about that? The hell is on earth for them because they're themselves. What kind of a person tears down a photo of a hostage? Can you imagine if someone that you loved, or someone that you even knew, if your neighbor, your friend, a friend of a cousin of a like anyone you have any connection to, was currently being held in a tunnel, in a basement, in a freaking headquarters of a terrorist organization for 3 weeks, for 20 days? It's unfathomable and unbelievable. So my point is, this timing with these parshiot is very interesting. So Hashem promises Avraham Israel. He promises the Jewish people, and he promises to bless the Jewish people. And we think, oh, God is so strong, God is so great. Why isn't God stopping the things that have happened? We asked the same thing during the Holocaust. How could God allow this to happen? And the reality is that we've been given the greatest gift ever, which is free will. We've been given the option to be good or to be bad. And it was up to us. And it's not a meaningful decision if there's only one option. There are 2 options. And some people will use free will to do terrible, unspeakable, subhuman things, as we've seen. And some people will use free will to protect people from experiencing these horrible, horrible subhuman things that have happened. And I guess it's just important to remember that we have free will. And so, and to empower all of us that, as we see people posting horrible things, saying horrible things, spreading lies, that our voices do matter. It doesn't matter if you have 1 Instagram follower or 1,000 Instagram followers or 1,000,000 Instagram followers. If you even convince one person, explain to them that there's more to this story than there's simply being shown by the lies and the true, genuine libel they're seeing in the news and on TV. If you were able to show one person, it's just extremely valuable. So speaking of just one person, if you guys follow me on Instagram or Facebook, I posted a little story of something that happened to me this morning. So all morning, I was out. I saw all these posters that were hung up on telephone poles that had been ripped down, posters of hostages. Oh, it's horrific to see, because that someone put that poster up and someone ripped it down in broad daylight and no one did anything about it. And it's just it is so sick and so evil. So I was seeing those all morning. I was listening to one of the many podcasts that I haven't been able to stop listening to, and they were talking about how it's so tribal how people are acting about Israel. It's tribal because they don't have actual facts. They're just so convinced that Israel has to be the enemy. If Hamas would do such horrible things, Israel has to be really, really terrible for these things to be justified, because of course they're justified in the eyes of these so-called humanitarians. And I was just feeling angry and upset. And I was quickly did some pre-Shabbat grocery shopping. And I was at Trader Joe's, and I end up getting in this line with this very nice gentleman who's checking out my groceries. So as he's checking out my groceries, we hear someone dropped a glass jar, and it shattered and spilled. And it was just, I didn't want to like look. I was like, oh, like I hate. It's happened to me before. It's like a really bad feeling. And I said, kind of hyperbolically, oh, that's the worst feeling. Oh, that's the worst feeling. And the cashier said, well, it's not the worst feeling. The worst feeling is what's been happening to all those innocent people who were kidnapped and attacked and murdered in Israel. And I was like, come again? Like, this is not a person who's visibly Jewish. I think he was maybe Hispanic. I was like, hold on. And I kind of got a little more information, and I saw that he was on our side. And I was like, did you know that I'm Jewish? And he was like, oh, no, I usually can tell, which was funny, and we'll let it slide. He's like, yeah, but I didn't think you were Jewish. And I was like, okay, well, I am. Or are you Jewish? And he was like, no, I'm not Jewish, but I think that we need to, even if this is happening a world away, we have to have empathy with these people. I just imagine if this was my daughter who this was happening to, who are feeling helpless over there. I just can't imagine it, and we have to stand with them. And you know, he was very passionate about it. And he was like, now that I know you're Jewish, do you believe that we're ever going to have peace? And I said, I would like there to be peace, but unfortunately, this is not two equal parties fighting each other. We have one democratic country, a democratic oasis in the desert of the Middle East, and one terrorist group that has been a Iran proxy terrorist group that has wrought, again, the most horrible, vile, subhuman, evil things that have ever existed in the world that they've done. And I said, it's not two bad people. It's one democratic country defending its borders, and one terrorist organization who will not rest until every Jew on the face of the earth is dead. It's not just Israel. It's coming to the West. It's coming here. We're not going to have peace until these terrorist organizations are stopped. And then I said, you know, we've been given the greatest gift, which is free will, and people use free will to do a lot of bad things. And he was like, yes, exactly. You know, just when everyone was given free will in the Garden of Eden, immediately Cain and Abel happened. Why did Cain kill Abel? He was given free will. We were just given free will. You were just given this. How could you ruin it already? And I was like, that's such a good point. And he was like, you know, you seem upset. I want to encourage you. Can I share with you some scriptures? And so he pulls up his phone. He's like very quick. He's like, I know exactly what I want to show you. So he shows me this parak, this pasuk, this chapter, a few lines within Tehillim, which 37th chapter, so Lamed Zion in Tehillim in Psalms, and it's the whole section about how the meek shall inherit the earth, that the good people will always prevail. And the evil people will not. And he's like, no, let me show you more. So he shows me Yirmiyahu, Jeremiah, another section about how your foes will fall and good will conquer evil. And he's like, this is it. This is what's going to happen. I want to encourage you. And it was so beautiful, and I like started to cry. I was like really emotional, and I was like, I just can't tell you how much it means that you stand with us, and that you believe in the state of Israel, and that you believe that these things are wrong. It's just like, I've not been hearing that, and it just means a lot. And so I asked him if I could take a photo with him. So there's a photo on my Instagram and my Facebook of me with him. And I was like, you know, I really appreciate it, and this moved me so much. And he said, you don't need to worry. God has got this under control. God has got this. And I was like, so I like left Trader Joe's, and I was like so emotional. I was like, I was feeling so low, and Hashem was like, here's a sprinkle of something that was encouraging and kind. And I'm not so self-involved to think that Hashem is just watching over me. Hashem is watching over all of us and setting in these little nace, a little miracle when you need it the most. I've been needing a miracle for the whole world has been needing a miracle. And I was so moved by this whole experience, and I wanted to share it with you guys. That ended up being much longer than I meant it to be. But the parsha is Lech Lecha. The parsha is Abraham. The Jewish people are going to be a great nation. The Jewish people are going to inherit the land of Israel. And damn if that's not exactly what's going to happen. Am Yisrael Chai. Shabbat Shalom, guys. God willing, I'll see you all next week. Please be safe and continue to amplify your voices and say what seems uncomfortable. There's nothing to be ashamed of for defending defending a democratic country that deserves to defend itself, nay, has the right and the must do it, must defend its borders. So be well, Shabbat Shalom, and Am Yisrael Chai.